So we're on to sati on the Eightfold Path, the ennobling Eightfold Path. And sati is commonly translated as mindfulness, but let's try on the translation of standing near experience.
Right. Mindfulness has become a very common word in parlance, everyday language. You find it in your gym, in apps, and magazines, at the grocery store. But we want to talk about the Pali word sati, which points to something much more complex. There's many definitions of sati. If you look at it up in a Buddhist encyclopedia, which I have before, and there's also the definitions interlace, and they're much more profound than just mindfulness.
And, if we were to choose one translation that well, we do choose it most commonly, which is the translation of awareness. And, you know, when we talk about awareness, it's not like this accomplishment, like, okay, I have now accomplished being aware. No. And it's not something that we can, achieve once and then that's it. We got it. But it's really a capacity of mind that is cultivated. And the quality of that capacity is, again, as I said, a standing near experience, but also it includes some friendliness towards what's going on and some curiosity.
Right, right. The phrase standing near. Um, that's what Nelly, what you're getting at, how we're standing near something, that we're standing near it with more kindness, with more curiosity, with more friendliness. And it's really going in the direction of saying we're not lost in the experience, but we're distancing ourselves from it a little bit. But not completely, not going too far away. We want to stay close enough to know what's happening, to sense and feel our experience, but with just enough of space to see it, to actually be able to articulate it, to know it.
And I think that a common it's more than a misunderstanding because it's experiential. I can't quite think of the word, is that it can go to a detachment. That, I'm standing near it, but okay, that's not me. I don't, I'm just kind of, I'm the neutral onlooker. And I don't think that really is a good description of what happens. Although actually it happens for some people, but
Right,
so I shouldn't say that. But what I think is meant by sati,
right,
I don't think that's it.
right. Right. And interesting how you said it. It does happen for people that way. Like they feel very distant from their experience and outside of it. So those kinds of states of mind occur within meditation. And so we're looking a bit at how sati is developed. And in some instructions, sati is developed by stabilizing your attention on one object and again, going back to that object. We know this, we've heard these instructions going back to your breath or your body or a mantra or a phrase or metta. Um, and I think that sati does develop a little bit differently when you stabilize it that way, go back to the breath. I think there is a larger distance that's often created where we're really doing something a little bit differently.
Yeah, and just this thought just came to mind going back to the more detached distance. And just to be clear, I don't think that that common instruction about returning to a focus object necessarily or maybe mostly leads to that. But that really hooks up with a whole topic that we talk about often, and we're not going to talk about a lot today, but that's transcendence. That if you, there is that view that if I can just be far enough from experience and just like the onlooker looking from above, so to speak. So my experience transcends this. This is really just kind of child's play down here. But I'm getting to a higher ground. And that's not the path that we're promoting.
Yeah, I mean, it hooks up with so many things because even as you say it that way, Nellie, it hooks up with this idea that there's an absolute truth and a conventional child's play down here, conditionality, how things are hooking up and how we're living in our stories and feeling the pain of existence, so to speak, that we would be transcending that through awareness. And I actually think the direction we're going is we're going closer. Well, obviously, we're standing nearer to that and owning it a little bit more in the way of that's important too. What matters to us is our experience. I think I got a little lost there. Come
That's
on in.
okay. It's okay. I'm a little lost with you, so together we'll go through the tangle of thoughts. But so what we're doing in reflective meditation is not we're not primarily stabilizing attention on a single object, as you said. It's not just something like the breath or a phrase or a body scan or whatever. We're not guiding you to do that, although that happens and that can be quite stabilizing and useful. But we also are inviting your experience to unfold more freely. So that is a different kind of that's a different kind of sati, really,
Mhm,
different kind
mhm.
of awareness.
Right. Right. We really are. I would say you will notice with this practice, your awareness develops differently because we're asking you to do something different. We're even asking you to find language, which is again uncommon in practices, to find language about what you just experienced. So there's another level of awareness that you can actually articulate it and know it better by languaging it and then even sharing it with other people who see it a little bit differently and give you their impression of it.
And while, more mainstream mindfulness is training us to be aware in the present moment, and we do that as well, we'll be aware of things as they are happening. We additionally add into that this, of course, reflection, which is which really is there's a continuity with that. It's not just that you might be reflecting during the meditation. Hopefully you're reflecting 10 minutes for those 10 minutes afterwards. But the point is that that starts going throughout your day, that you're becoming more aware and reflecting and being aware and reflecting. And so that's why we have the tagline, if you allow your life into your meditation comes into your life.
Right. Nellie, we've been talking about this a little bit more, but I think we're naming that we have a relationship with what just happened.
Mhm.
That experience, it's the way we're going to learn about something. It's the way we're going to know ourselves. We don't just get up and move on. There's another relationship that's being established by reflecting on it, recollecting it, then by taking it into the day and letting it come in and really, color our experience of our daily life. Yeah.
So another way of stating that is that we're widening our field of awareness rather than focusing on a single determined object. We're widening the field. And then we're looking at it from all these different angles, from this angle, that angle, during when it happens, after the meditation, later that day, many different angles.
Right. 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 There's a time for narrowing. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna go into there's a season for all things. But there
That's a good song. Do you want to sing it?
oh, I have to practice before I sing for you all. But there is a kind of, a time for narrowing and focusing, and there is a time for broadening, but I'd say we walk a broader path in general. Like the path in some ways, we have broadened it as more of our, primary way of working with it. And
Right,
narrowing is more adjunct.
right.
Adjunct.
But both are cultivating sati, and awareness or standing near, or however you best think of it.
Okay. I think that's a good place to end.
Yes.
And I